Shaq reveals his next business venture. And guys, I guarantee it's not what you would expect. We hope you guys are enjoying the new NBA 2K My Career experience. And with so much to explore, we asked NBA 2K game designer Dan Indra if he could give us some insight into the neighborhood.
In NBA 2K18's career mode, we wanted your path on the road to 99 to be as open-ended as possible. No matter if it's your NBA career, competing in 2K Pro-Am, or playing in the playground, what you do and when you do it is up to you. The neighborhood is the culmination of letting you pick and choose when you want to play with your friends, customize your My Player, get competitive, or experience the story of my career. And there's even more to explore here. Step inside the 2K zone and you've got trivia, mini hoops, and online blacktop games. Step outside and we have competitive courts where you can show off your shot, dunk, and 1v1 skills. Even your private My Court has new ways to play with your friends. And if that weren't enough, we even have multiple ways for you to get around the neighborhood. But when it's time to compete, you're gonna need your My Player to be the GOAT. And Mike Wang is next to give you some tips on how to do just that.
To upgrade your My Player on the road to 99, you need to upgrade your cap breakers and your badges. And this year, you can do that by playing however you want in My Career. 2K Pro-Am, Playground, and NBA games are great ways to earn these upgrades. But you can also go to the team practice facility and choose drills to work on specific badges. In games, certain actions on the court will earn you progress toward these badges. It can be tempting to focus in on a certain badge, but if you play to win and play your game, you will earn badges catered to your play style. And this is important. Remember to explore and experiment with other activities in the neighborhood too. You never know where you may find a little boost to help your My Player. That's all for now. Develop and dominate, and I'll see you in the neighborhood.
This next NBA season is full of promising rookie talent, and the Sacramento Kings snatched up one of the best in De'Aaron Fox. He also happens to be a huge fan of NBA 2K. So before launch, we invited him to the 2K studios to play 2K18 for the first time as himself, immortalized in the game. What's up, guys? Today I'm joined in studio with De'Aaron Fox, and we would love to get your first impressions playing as yourself for the first time.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me here.
You're going into your first season in the NBA.
Yep.
What are you most excited for?
Just to be able to play against all the players that I've watched, growing up, and then playing.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
Thanks for tuning in, everyone, to this broadcast. And before we get underway here, let's send it over to Hall of Famer David Aldridge, who was able to talk with Steve Clifford.
Well, guys, he told me they're up against a team that really finishes strong at the rim, and he wanted to get that point across to his players. He wants them to protect the rim with every bit of energy they've got throughout this entire contest. Let's see if they're up to it, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And tonight, the matchup at the center position is certain to draw attention. Not something we say every night because the bigs don't seem to be stressed. But tonight, Chris, that is a factor.
Thank God big guys are back in the game, Kevin. You know, I got this opinion that there's a conspiracy against the big guys. I mean, hey, big guys played in this basketball. You guys remember a guy by the name of Mikan? He was pretty big. So, yeah, tonight we have a great center matchup. Can't wait to watch it.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. So on the floor for Washington, Beal and Porter at the 2 and the 3. Morris and Gortat together down low. And it's Wall in at the point.
Good D, better row. Walker's showing a lot of confidence in that jump shot.
Shot on the wing. That's short off the rim.
I mean, look, no one guarding you. It's better to not pull up and try the leaner.
Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in.
But Walker has speed to burn. A nightmare keeping him out of the paint.
Here's Washington now. 4-point game. Here's Beal. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Well, you have to like the aggressiveness of Beal that he has injected into his game, Chris, as he's developed.
The free throw attempts and three-point attempts are both up for Beal as he's developed. I mean, those are 2 of the most efficient ways to score as a guard. Overall, looks so much more engaged and sleek out on the floor.
Free throw good, Beal.
Now, the potential this kid, Beal, has is incredible. He's already a dynamic scorer. And he continues to get better every offseason.
And so he hits both. And we all know that Bradley Beal was one of the early benefactors of the new contracts handed out in the NBA. Chris, as you know, got a 5-year deal worth almost $130 million. Some questioned it, but he has stepped up since signing long-term here.
Yeah, and with Beal, you knew he had the talent. It was just a matter of staying on the floor to earn that contract. I mean, since signing, he's had career best in several different categories. This team showed faith in Beal, and he's rewarded.
Here is Wall, following the basket by Dwight Howard. Shoots over Walker, and again, Washington, no good.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Monk's shot's good.
And that makes them 80% from the floor early on. Let's see how long they can stay this hot.
Here's Porter. They shoot again, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. That's on Dwight Howard.
People may not see how quick Porter is on these drives. Sometimes the D has no choice but to whack him. Well, it took some time to develop, but Otto Porter is starting to put everything together. He was considered a bit of a project when he came into the NBA, drafted 3rd overall, but all the promises now being fulfilled as he is a great do-it-all forward.
And you forget at times that Otto Porter was taken 3rd overall, Chris, as you mentioned. He's shown great development. He's had a big jump in play year after year.
Yeah, but so often guys who are considered projects that are picked early, they never develop. Porter was a risk, but made sure he lived up to his draft spot.
Now, here's Walker. The feed to Kid Gilchrist. And he banks in the layup.
And the defense's goal has to be keeping MKG away from the rim. That's when he's dangerous.
Here's Wall, and there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. That's a foul on Sharp.
Well, when the question of who has the best handles comes up in the NBA, John Wall should be in the conversation. Of course, Irving and Curry might be at the top, but Wall isn't far behind. He can absolutely lose a guy with one of his crossover behind the back, flip up, down, zip-zap moves.
Cody Zeller's checked in for Dwight Howard. Wall with a block.
Wall, I mean, one of the things that's underrated is that he's an insane athlete. Right there, he's just showing what an incredible defender he is with these type of blocks.
And Chris, with Wall and his dribbling ability, one advantage he has is that he's able to do great things on the floor at full speed.
Well, I can think of several examples where Wall just left his defender in the dust at half court. Such a fluid behind-the-back move with the speed the defenders is so hard for them to check.
Now here's Kid Gilchrist. Score the basket, his 2nd of 2 attempts.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Unloads from 13. And again, John Wall. Wall's got 6.
I love seeing Wall get going from the mid-range. Now he has a solid jump shot from this spot.
And Walker kicks to Kid Gilchrist. Rebounded by the Wizards. Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Here's Gortat. Wall dishes to Morris. And it goes out of bounds. That one is off Zeller.
And you love the effort. Just getting the hand in there and knocking it out.
Well, some of that, too, is just setting the tone by being aggressive. You need guys like this on your team.
Here's what Charlotte's going with right now. Kaminsky, he's checked in for Michael Kidd Gilchrist. Williams comes in for Nicholas Batum. And it's Lamb in there for Monk. Mahinmi's checked in for Washington. Frazier comes in for John Wall. Here's Lamb. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Now, Jeremy Lamb, I love his game. A very lengthy 2-guard out of UConn. Still developing as a player, but he has some great flashes at times. Not terribly consistent shooter, but he's crafty, and he can get buckets. He knows how to make the most of his length on D as well.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. Jason Smith, he's checked in for Morris. Kelly Oubre comes in for Porter. And it's Jody Meeks in for Beal. Another miss by Frazier. Charlotte leading by 5. And with Lamb mentioning his length as a guard, last season he went off with an incredible 17 rebounds. Remember that game? Those are numbers, Chris, even centers dream of putting up.
Yeah, Kevin, I do remember that game you're talking about with Lamb. A lot of those rebounds came from his activity near the paint on both ends of the floor. When he forces himself to be involved in the action, he's at his best.
Now here's Lamb. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
And the key piece in one of the biggest NBA trades over the past few years, Lamb was sent by the Rockets to the Thunder in exchange for James Harden. That was a major trade.
Free throw drops for Lamb. And you look back to last season, the Wizards started slow, but something clicked for them halfway through the year, Chris, and they were able to turn things around.
Well, just with all the talk about how the Wizards should rebuild, it seems like they pulled it together. They took some time to get things right with the new coach, and the lead stripe on the team disappeared once they started winning.
Walker's shot is off.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
Here's Smith. And he can't bank that one in. Charlotte leading by 9. Now here's Walker. He's got 6. Count the basket.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Here's Meeks. And he drops it in from the low post.
Solid timing, better execution, going strong to the rack.
Outside, Walker. There's 47 seconds left to play here in the first. That one goes. Count it.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
Frazier kicks to Meeks. Good, and it's Frazier who picks up the assist. Meeks got 5.
And they can't allow him too many open looks like that. That's just inviting trouble.
Williams with a clean look and another 3 for Charlotte.
In this first period, they've been aggressive and extremely focused.
Well, that's put them up by double digits, trying to run away with this one wire to wire.
It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Smith, shot is good off the back rim and in. 16 seconds left here in the first quarter. Walker with it. 10 points for him. He was all alone on that one. He's got 12.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Yeah, particularly on offense, where they've been completely in sync. Terrific first quarter.
And so it's the Charlotte Hornets. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And before the game, we heard from Kemba Walker. He talked about his mentality when he steps out onto the floor.
Play free. Just play like you're playing street ball. Just have fun. Just play the game that you've been playing, forever.
Infectious enthusiasm. You see it every time he steps on the floor. Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And a comfortable margin for the Hornets here, guys.
I mean, a huge lead, and already after this first quarter, they're starting to make it look easy.
I love it. They have the track shoes on. Right off the tip, they were in full attack mode. This offense is really churning.
Kaminsky and Howard, the tall front line. Kemba Walker is out there with Jeremy Lamb, and it's Williams at the 3. So that's who Charlotte starts the second with. Oubre Oubre with it, working on Williams. And it's Smith penetrating, knocked away. Goes back up. And even after 2 offensive rebounds, they just can't get the lid off. Left side, Williams. Uncovered. It's good. Williams has got 5 points so far. Well, you look around the NBA, and there are some incredible athletes. Chris, in your opinion, which players in the league right now are the most physically imposing when you see them in action?
3 people come to mind. First, DeAndre Jordan, just his size and stature, and then when you see him run like a little fella and jump with the best of them, it is so intimidating seeing him out there on that court. LeBron, I mean, you still might say he has the best basketball body ever, being that 6'7", 6'8" frame, whatever he goes by, with a bunch of muscle behind it, being able to use his quickness and strength to get to the post. You just have to love it. And then Antetokounmpo, one of the most unique players we've seen with his length, his size, Mr. Stretch Armstrong, but he gets it done on both ends of the floor. And I just think his unique body style and skill set makes him fun to watch as well.
And some changes here for the Hornets. Kid Gilchrist, he's checked in for Frank Kaminsky. Batum comes in for Marvin Williams. And Monk's subbed in for Walker. Shoots from the elbow. Wall's shot is good. 8 points for him.
Wall is skilled at scoring down low. He's using his size and speed to create for himself on the block.
Here's Howard. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That's on Marcin Gortat. And just a year ago, it seemed that things were set in place for Howard, playing for his hometown team. But in a surprise trade, he was moved out to Charlotte.
And there seems to be a lot of reasons for the trade. I mean, Howard wasn't the right fit in Atlanta, a team trying to get smaller and younger. Never easy to get traded from your hometown team.
And here is Lamb. He has 6. Monk, the pass to Howard. Morris against Kid Gilchrist. Just 5 on the clock. And Batum kicks to Howard. Lamb. And again, the Hornets missing. Wizards trailed by 11. Inside, got a piece of it. And it's Gortat finishing it off.
Like the vision from Porter, not just looking for his own shot, constantly looking to get it to the open man.
For Charlotte, they've gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter. And Lamb kicks to Monk. And Howard with the stuff.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the 2-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Here's Wall. Some solid defense from Kid Gilchrist. Hornets leading by 11. Bobbed up there for Howard. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
And Howard has great timing on these alley-oops. As long as the pass is spot on, he's clear for takeoff.
And the replay presented by Under Armour. Unleash chaos, giving us the chance to enjoy that alley-oop all over again. And the shot goes in. Wall's got 10.
Absolutely fearless. I mean, a nice subtle adjustment there going up against Wynn.
Well, this is just another case where being aggressive wins out.
And Lamb kicks to Kid Gilchrist. Over Morris. Now, here's Monk, covered by Wall. Here's Kid Gilchrist. Rebound, Washington. Morris into the lane. No good on that one. Great D that time from Batum. For Charlotte, they've gone 5 of 7 from the field here in the second. Monk dishes to Lamb. Right side, Kid Gilchrist. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. 6 points for him.
And looking at this Charlotte roster, really the strength of it is their perimeter play. A good collection of dynamic playmakers and shooters from that point guard to small forward position. They are the bulk of this team's offensive threats.
Lamb passes to Kid Gilchrist. Over Morris. And that one goes long. Howard kicks to Monk. Outside, Batum. Now, here's Monk. Not a lot of room. Charlotte moving it around. Kid Gilchrist, a screen on Wall. Lamb, clock is at 3. The 3, and it's Monk that time on the assist by Howard. 6 points for Malik Monk. Greg, the Hornets were strong outside, but weak inside. I guess they've addressed that weakness, going for Dwight Howard.
Yeah, they went out and got what they felt could be an anchor on that front line. And listen, he's going to provide that rim presence that they lacked a season ago. The question is, can he also give them some punch offensively?
Good on the shot, and with that, the Charlotte lead is cut down to 14, getting a little bit closer on the bucket from Beal. 32 seconds left here in the second. Lamb dishes to Batum. Now here's Lamb, covered by Wall. And it's sent back by Morris.
Oh, man, look at Morris use his reach to turn away a shot. He's excellent at cornering shooters and sending their shots back.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
And the foul called on Markieff Morris. That's his first foul. And here's Walker outside. That misses, would have counted had it gone in. And so it's Charlotte with a sizable lead as the quarter wraps up. They're ahead 16 points. They've got their field goal percentage to thank for that. They've been hot from all over the floor tonight. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much. Dwight, what is the team's mental approach to the game tonight?
Just attack, make the defense help. And if they help, make the right pass. If they don't help, try to score.
We'll see if we can keep it going in the second half. Thanks, Dwight. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what a show being put on here for the home fans tonight. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We saw Kemba Walker lighting it up in the first half. He had 12 points and 2 rebounds. A solid performance already for him, and he might erupt in the second half if his last game is any indication of what we might see. Kenny, let's get your take on Charlotte.
Their ability to get into the paint and get to the rim has been deadly, constantly attacking the basket. It was clearly their intention right from the start to pound it inside as much as possible. And I don't see them straying from that strategy in the second half. It's going to be another paint-based attack.
And over to Shaq, your take on the Wizards.
Well, they're obviously facing a hot shooting team tonight. That combined with a lackluster effort on defense, recipe for disaster, Ernie. Without major improvements defensively, this game is OVA. Over.
That about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the game. We go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. We've seen Kemba Walker really having a great game.
Oh, well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them, and really few forced shots here so far.
Terrific first half on offense. This is how you draw it up. We'll see if they can maintain that efficiency going forward.
Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. Hornets leading by 16. Taking a look at the Wizards. The explosive backcourt is Wall and Beal at the 1 and 2. Porter and Morris are the forwards. And it's Gortat in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. They get it back. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup. And while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not. But Sure enough, they have. So he'll head to the free throw line.
Well, free throwing was never a strength of Howard's game.
And Chris, I know you started doing a podcast, Fearless or Insane, with Chris Webber, an opportunity to have some meaningful conversations. What's that been like?
It's been great, Kevin. I've gotten a chance to talk to some friends, some mentors like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I've gotten to speak to him about what it was like playing for Wooden, what it was like coming up in the crazy 60s in that time. And, you know, he's such a thoughtful and a great individual. So to hear his stories about he and Muhammad Ali, he and Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all these great figures is just wonderful. I also got to speak to track legends John Carlos and Tommy Smith, who in the 1968 Olympics, we've seen them kind of protest when they put their fist up in defiance and kind of put their voice out for the voiceless. And I got to talk to them about how tough of a moment that was. Did they know the sacrifice that they were making? What happened, the backlash to what happened? And then all these years later, do they feel kind of vindicated that we're showing them so much love and people around the world appreciate what they've done? So we try to just discuss fearless or insane. You know, they say insane is doing the same thing over, expecting a different result, where these guys put their lives on the line.
Yes.
And they kind of knew that it necessarily wouldn't change the arc of justice, but they felt that they had to do it. And so it's just some cool conversations with people and athletes that were much more than an athlete. And I've learned a lot, and it's been a cool podcast.
Count that bucket. 14 points for Walker.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Washington calls timeout. And last season, I think, Greg, there was a time when Kemba Walker was playing basketball, you know, as well as any point guard in the NBA.
No doubt. I mean, not to say he's the best in our league, but he is certainly climbing up the list. You can't ignore his impact on this team. Has worked to improve each season he's been in the league.
Wizards trail by 19. No one near Wall as he lets it go. Nice open look, but it's no good. Hornets have gone 2 of 6 from the field here in the third. Walker with it. He's picked up by Wall. Off the pick. And it's Walker again missing.
Look, he had all the time in the world to get the jumper off. Maybe it was too much time.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. I think everyone can now agree that John Wall is one of the better point guards in the NBA.
No doubt. At this point, when you factor in his production, he's got to be in the top 5, if not top 3 guards in the league. One of the better passers we have as well. It's just hard to find guards that can create so easily the way Wall can.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
He misses the free throw. And with sponsors coming to NBA jerseys this season, Hornets fans have to be pleased with their initial sponsor. Makes perfect sense when an owner also owns a shoe brand.
Well, yeah, and Brand Jordan as the owner sponsor just made too much sense. You like how seamless and unobtrusive it's been. If you have to have a jersey sponsor, you can do a lot worse than the Hornets.
Charlotte leading by 19. Bobbed up there for Howard. Monk, the pass to Kid Gilchrist. Beal on the double team. Walker against Wall. Shots good by Walker.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
Walker against Wall. Over Walker. And another miss by Washington.
They haven't gotten their legs back. Just 1 for 4 to start the second half.
Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Walker missing again.
He hasn't been very precise at all this quarter.
And that one's good by Porter.
Porter knows how to score inside. He possesses great quickness, and he has that length also to finish in the paint.
Walker against Wall. Monk sets the screen for Walker. Clock at 6. The tray. Drops in the tray. Walker's got 7 points for the quarter.
Hey, when Walker has the hot hand, keep getting him the ball. He fills up the stat sheet. You can't lay that pass in there any better.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hornets. So often there are some players who have one unstoppable move or something that they'll lean on if their team needs a basket. What did you feel your go-to move was when you were playing?
You know, I've said this many times, I just felt like my go-to move was just get a bucket. And so it depended on where I was on the floor. You know, I love the jump hook from the left block looking in, my 15-foot jumper, 17-foot jumper. I felt that if I came off a pick and roll and I caught the ball live, I could drive or I could shoot the jumper that if you were a big fella, you were at my mercy. And so, you know, those were really my spots on the floor to really try to do damage. So, you know, it's just about the point guard, the team that you're playing with, where shooters are on the floor in case you get double teamed, and just kind of knowing your game. And so I felt comfortable on many spots on the floor, and depending on what spot on the floor, time and possession, that's where I was going to go and just try to be successful.
I always felt you read well. You reacted well after your read.
Yeah, because, you know, I grew up on teams where coaches, you know, would want me to do the correct play, and just because you can shoot a jump hook, your favorite shot over two people, but if you have a wide open, great knockdown shooter in the corner, you're supposed to make that pass. And so that's what I mean about, you know, what's your favorite move? It really depends on where I was, because a lot of times it was to get my shot first, and then if I knew the defense was coming, it was to identify where that next guy was going to be. So if I didn't score, I was going to get the ball to the guy that was. And it was an easy way to kind of control the pace and the play from the game from that post position.
But they recover it. 1:56 left to play in the third. Beyond the arc, and the three ball is good. Walker's got a pair of threes now here in the third for Charlotte.
He's taking over the game. Their lead's going to get even bigger if he keeps this up.
And Meeks kicks to Mahimi. Zeller grabs the board.
That's just a quick move to the 10 and an even quicker reaction by the D to stop him there.
Frazier against Walker. Passes to Zeller. Fires the three. And Walker gets it to go on the assist by Zeller. And that's now 25 points for Kemba Walker.
And Walker is what we call thirsty. He's thinking of firing as soon as he gets the rock. Great presence of mind from the point guard.
.114 left in the third quarter.
Well, Cody Zeller isn't looking to impress anyone with this play, but he is a solid contributor on the floor. I mean, he runs the floor well. He's very good around the rim. Great efficiency on the touches close in that he does get.
Here's Mahimi, and it's Mahimi finishing it off.
Straight rim rocker.
It looked like Greg for a second, like he might rip the cylinder loose. Hornets leading by 22. Walker with a clean look. They get it back. Zeller up top. Goes back up. Kaminsky dishes to Batum. There's Walker with the three. Here's Kaminsky. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
He's so intelligent around the rim. Kaminsky found a way to own that possession.
The Hornets have gone 5 of 8 from the charity stripe here tonight.
And a season ago at the charity stripe, this is a group that shot an impressive 81%.
Charlotte making a switch here. Lamb's checked in. The Wizards also changing it up. Markieff Morris is checked in for Jason Smith. Beal comes in for Meeks. And John Wall subbed in for Frazier.
Wow, he just does everything right there except hit the layup.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Walker against Wall. And Walker kicks to Kaminsky. 5 on the clock. From deep. No good from Lamb. Morris. That shot off. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Hornets ahead, running away with it. We'll be back shortly live from Spectrum Center. And from a recent huddle, let's listen in on head coach Steve Clifford.
Well, we're doing well. Great job. Show your hands. Show your hands. Don't foul.
Moments ago, Steve Clifford talking about defensive technique. Doesn't want to give up 3 points at the charity line.
And by focusing in on the smallest thing, his guys know how serious he is. One of the better defensive coaches in our league.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. We've got Stone, also Carter Williams out there, and it's Williams at the 4 slot. So that's the lineup for Charlotte. Stone kicks to Williams. O'Brien inside, guarded by Mahimi, and the rejection by Mahimi. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. Here's Satoransky. Carter Williams covering, and Satoransky kicks to Scott. And the rebound goes to the Hornets.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Now, the former Rookie of the Year continues to improve. Carter Williams, he's a triple-double threat thanks to his size and his passing skill.
And he makes the first.
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey for Michael Carter Williams. He goes from Rookie of the Year to getting traded, then traded again. Had a lot to live up to after that award, but the expectations might have been a bit unfair. Ooh, the feed was perfect. The timing, the placement, everything was right on the money.
Charlotte has gone past the three-point line for 13 of their shots. They're 6 of 13. Picked by Williams. Here's Carter Williams. Mack grabs the miss. Well, you go back to Carter Williams in that award. He had good numbers, but not great efficiency in them.
Well, I think he's settling into his mission, being a serviceable, bigger point guard. He can run a team, and although he isn't dangerous, he isn't hurting you that much either. If he ever wants to make that jump, though, he's going to have to fix that jump shot.
And the Hornets call time here. And the Wizards are going with a whole new group out there now. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. Walker the pass to Howard. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. That's on Marcin Gortat.
Not easy to wrap up Howard, one of the strongest players in the league.
Here's Wall. Beal drives in. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. A chance now for a three-point play.
Shooting one.
That's on Dwight Howard.
I mean, wow. The scoring ability of Beal is so impressive.
Bradley Beal. Shooting one.
On the free throw, no good. And so it looks like Washington will retain possession here. Off the inbound, here's Gortat. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
Wow. You got to admire the focus. Gortat not taking no for an answer. Outstanding at converting on these and one opportunities.
And it's the little things that Marcin Gortat is so good at that helps you at that center position. His awareness of space, strong in the pick and roll, and also a solid finisher at the rim.
That free throw good from Gortat. And with Gortat, it's those little things like setting timely screens or Greg moving to open up room for others that make him so valuable.
Kevin, he is deadly in the pick and roll. One of the best screeners in terms of his effectiveness to create space. And usually he's near the top of the league in terms of baskets that are created off of his screens.
The offensive rebound. Monk, no one around him. No good on the three. Wizards trail by 20. Here's Beal. tees off on that one. Some solid defense from Kid Gilchrist. And Walker with a clear path to the hoop. Up the floor. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And really, Walker takes the responsibility of being the leader for this team very seriously. Never afraid of making the big play.
I just want to preface this by saying Kemba Walker had an incredible year last season, and he showed why he is among the elite point guards in the NBA. Chris, with that being said, one thing you can't help but chuckle about was his egregious premature celebration that he had on a missed three-pointer.
Yeah, Kevin, we all remember that. When you put a shot up, turn around, and do the nice shimmy while your team is busy rebounding your miss, yeah, it sticks with you. I love Kemba, but that was one of the bigger bloopers of the season.
Charlotte leading by 22. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Gortat with the steal. It's Wall with the drive, and he lays it straight in.
Wall is a highly intelligent player. He sees the floor pretty well, sprinting to the cup with ease that time.
And here's Walker outside. Morris with the rebound. Morris has got his 3rd rebound tonight, and they pick up 2. 14 points for John Wall.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with the pass.
Walker dishes to Monk. Now the pass to Howard. And it's Howard finishing it off.
You allow Howard to get in close, he's going to punch that ticket.
Wizards trail by 20. An open look for Wall. Kemba Walker with the rebound. For Charlotte, they've gone 2 of 7 from the field in what's been a cold start to the fourth quarter for them. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Walker's got 4 points in the quarter. Washington calls timeout. We've seen Kemba Walker really having a great game.
Yeah, he's just torching them right now. A good decision to huddle up, kind of hit the reset button, and figure out how to slow his roll.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Kemba Walker.
And what an amazing ball game we've seen from him. It's been a one-man show worth the price of admission all by itself. There wasn't anything he couldn't do on that court tonight.
He doesn't take over games like this very much, but it's always possible. And when he does, here at home, these fans love it. Howard with this screen on Wall. Kid Gilchrist against Morris. Scooped up. Monk kicks to Howard. Charlotte moving the ball around. Wall against Walker. Back to Kid Gilchrist. And slam dunk by Kid Gilchrist.
Just amazing work from Walker. Really zipping the rock fast to the wide open man.
For Washington, they've gone 7 of 13 from the field here in the fourth. Here's Wall. Lays it up off the glass.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Charlotte.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and look at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Kemba Walker.
He was too much for them to deal with tonight. Plain and simple. They tried all sorts of ways to contain him, and nothing worked.
The Hornets have gone 5 of 11 from the field in the fourth quarter. Out to the right wing. Wall with some nice D. And here's the fast break. Porter leading the way. Another shot. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. It's on Nicholas Batum.
I mean, with look, Porter is an athletic player, someone who forces contact on his way up.
Some changes for Charlotte. Johnny O'Brien, he's checked in for Kid Gilchrist. Jeremy Lamb comes in for Monk. And Michael Carter-Williams subbed in for Walker. And then for Washington, Jason Smith, he's checked in for Morris. Jody Meeks comes in for Beal. And it's Frazier in for John Wall. Carter-Williams with the bucket. And the Hornets lead by 20.
And giving the fans what they came to see, a spirited performance.
Yeah, with a double-digit lead at this point, they can pretty much mark this one up in the win column.
Yes, that goes in.
Oh, that's just the long arms of Gortat easily stretching out to gobble up rebounds.
Here's Carter-Williams. Here's O'Brien, and that one drops.
And that's a killer instinct on display as they try to put this one on ice.
Well, they've gotten serious, stringing together some game-winning buckets.
So no problem for Charlotte as they get the win. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.